You are 27. It is a Thursday in October. You are sitting in your car in a parking garage at 6:48 in the morning, engine off, not ready to go inside yet. 3 years ago, you made a decision. Not a dramatic one. No moment of clarity. No rock bottom. No mentor who changed your life. You just opened an account and set up an automatic transfer. $400 a month. Every first of the month. Gone before you could touch it. You told nobody. Month 1 felt like nothing. Month 3 felt like discipline. Month 6 felt like stupidity. The account had $2,400 in it, and your friends were in Vegas, and you were eating rice and chicken at home on a Friday night, wondering if you were doing this wrong. You were not doing it wrong. You just could not see far enough yet. You go inside. You sit at your desk. You do your job. On the drive home, you stop for gas and you look at your bank account on your phone in the parking lot of a Shell station, and the number is $14,800. You put the phone away. You do not feel anything yet. That is the part nobody warns you about. The early months do not feel like winning. They feel like waiting, and most people cannot wait. You are 28. Month 14. A man named Derek sits 3 desks from you. Derek is 33. Derek found something. A high-yield savings account. 5.2%. Derek tells everyone at lunch. Derek has a spreadsheet. Derek calculated that in 18 months, he will have enough to put a down payment on a rental property. Derek is loud about it. Derek sends you the spreadsheet in a Slack message you never open. 6 weeks later, Derek stops talking about it. You do not ask why. You already know why. Something came up. Something always comes up for people who are almost somewhere. A wedding, a car repair, a flight home for Christmas, an opportunity that required cash right now. Derek did not quit. Derek just paused. And a pause at month 8 looks exactly like quitting by month 14. You keep going. Month 19. $9,800 in the account. You have a girlfriend named Claire. Claire is patient. Claire has never once asked you to spend more than you want to. But Claire has a birthday in February and her friends are renting a house in Tulum, and the cost is $1,400. And Claire says you do not have to come if it does not make sense. You go. You pull $1,400 from the account. You reset the streak. You sit on a beach in Mexico and you are smiling and you feel like a person who lives in the world and not just inside a spreadsheet. And for 4 days, that feeling is real. On the flight home, you do the math. The $1,400 would have been $1,680 in 8 years. You close the calculator app. You do not tell Claire. You smile at her across the aisle. You start again. You are 29. Month 27. The account has $19,200. You open it one morning and something shifts. Not the number. The feeling behind the number. For the first time, it does not feel like waiting. It feels like wait. The good kind. The kind that stays put. That weekend, your brother calls. His name is Marcus. Marcus is 32. Marcus has been talking about investing since you were both in college. Marcus has a podcast he posted 4 episodes of. Marcus has 3 books about money on his shelf that are still in the plastic wrap. Marcus calls because he found a fund. Monthly dividends. 9% yield. His friend made $600 last month. You ask which fund. Marcus sends you the ticker. You look at the chart. The price has fallen 55% in 3 years. The yield is high because the price collapsed. The dividend will be cut. The price will keep falling. You tell Marcus to be careful. Marcus says you're being negative. You say nothing. 3 months later, Marcus texts you that the dividend got cut in half. You do not say anything about that either. You keep going. Month 34. Month 38. You are 30. The account has crossed $30,000. You move it into a broad market ETF. 4% yield. Boring ticker. The kind that shows up in every article about building wealth that nobody reads because it is not exciting enough to finish. Month 41 arrives on a Tuesday. $32,400. Your dividend hits for the first time. $108. Paid to you on a Tuesday while you were at work answering emails about a project that did not matter. $108 you did not earn with your time. $108 that came from owning something instead of doing something. You stare at it for a long time. It is the smallest amount of money you have felt this way about. But here is what you do not know yet. Somewhere right now, a version of you quit in month 11. Not dramatically, not on purpose, just a pause that became permanent. The wedding cost more than expected. The car needed work. The account felt too small to matter. They told themselves they would start again in spring. They did not start again in spring. They are sitting at a desk right now, 3 years older, making the same salary, the account at zero, still telling themselves the time is coming, still waiting for a version of the discipline they had once, briefly, before life made the argument that felt impossible to answer. Here is what they are actually waiting for. They are waiting for the feeling to come back. The clarity. The morning they woke up and decided. They think they need to feel it again before they can start again. They are wrong. The feeling followed the action last time. It will follow it again. But they are in month 0. Again. And you are in month 41. And you are not the same person. You did not get rich this year. You did not quit your job. Nothing visible changed. Claire does not know the exact number. Your brother still thinks you're being too conservative. Your co-workers still eat at the place across the street that costs $18 a plate. You brown bag it 3 days a week. You drive the same car. You sit at the same desk. But the account is there. And it is growing without you now. And every month it pays you a small amount of money you did nothing to earn. And every month you reinvest it. And every month, the number of shares goes up by an amount too small to celebrate and too real to ignore. You close the app. You go back to work. Month 42 is 30 days away. You are not thinking about quitting. You never think about quitting anymore. That is what month 11 costs. Not the money. The not thinking about it.